Yar, mateys! Here be the final cycle. Like I said, I wanted to leave this run for a couple of days and just get a feel for what you guys were capable of before I gave you the finalized version, and now I do. So here it is. The percentages are going to stay the same for the most part. In week 1 it's 85% 2x3, 1x3 plus. At this stage you've done that, so you're on to week 2. Again, you're doing 85% 2x3, and this time you're doing another 3 plus, but you're trying to beat week 1. It's the same in week 3 and 4. In week 4 you're trying to beat your week 3 numbers, and in week 6 you're trying to beat your week 5 numbers. On your Bs, week 1 you've already done, so in week 2 we're going to go to 80% for 2 sets of 4 for the rest of the week. The guys tonight did 2x3 and they crushed it. Week 3, 85% 2x3. Then in week 4 we're going to go back to 80%, but we'll go extra reps. 85% again with extra reps, and then finally 92% for 2 sets of 3. Squat, 60%, 1 set of as many reps as possible, 65% for 1 set of as many as possible, and then 70% in week 3 for as many reps as possible. You're going to go back and do those numbers in week 4, 5, and 6, and you're going to smash weeks 1, 2, and 3. In the Ds, so your dumbbell bench press, your DBB, or your dips. The dips are going to come in when you start to hit a level of proficiency on the dumbbell bench that is as follows. When you hit 25 kilo dumbbells, or for the lighter guys, 20 kilo dumbbells, for a total of 40 plus reps at a 3-0-1-0 cadence, we'll start to bring them in. So that's a 3-second negative, 0 pause, 1 second on the way up, and 0 pause at the top. So what you're looking for then is a dumbbell that's equivalent to 20% of your bench press in each hand. That means if you have a 60 kilo bench press, 20% of that is about 12.5 kilos. So it's 12 kilos basically. So you use 12.5 kilo dumbbells, and you're using it for 12 reps of 4 rounds with 3-second negatives. Once you've hit 40 total reps across the 4 sets, you can move up a dumbbell the following week. So that means like if you get 4 sets of 10, or if you get like a 12, a 12, a 10, and I don't know, like an 8, that's 42, then you move up. So once you beat 40, you head on up. And that's going to be the way it stays all the way through. But make sure you hold on to your tempos. Then on your close grip bench press, once you're comfortably hitting your 6x8, your 60% by 8, move up 0.5 to 1.25 per side each week. So obviously the heavier your bench press is, the higher on this scale you go. So if you've got like a 70 or 80 kilo bench press, you can probably add 1.25 kilos per week. If you're benching like 30 or 40 kilos, you probably want to stick to 0.5 kilo increases. So it should seem to trend up over the weeks. And a dumbbell row is going to be the same weight as you used for your dumbbell bench press in D above here. Then in your conditioning block, your goblet squats, again, stay the same. 20% of your squat max in kettlebell form. If you're in between kettlebells, go with the lower one. So for example, if you're using like a 90 kilo squat max, that'd be an 18 kilo 20%, which means go to the 16 kilo kettlebell, for example. 8 sets of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and once you manage to get through these comfortably, you can consider moving up, but this will never be easy. You just need to move faster if it is. If at any stage your back starts to tighten up or blow up doing them, just get rid of the kettlebell and finish it off with no weight. Day 2, the percentages are the exact same as we just talked about above, and the principles are the exact same as well, so I'm not going to rehash them. With the close grip bench press on this day, you're starting at 50% for 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps. So you're on to week 2 now, obviously. Once you hit 40 total reps again, this should say move up 1.25, well, like move up 1.25 kg per side, so 0.5 to 2.5 kg per side the following week. So basically, like if you're getting these like 4 sets of 8 to 12 or 4 sets of 12 comfortably, and your bench is already relatively heavy, you can afford to go up to 2.5 kilos per side. If it isn't, stay on the lighter end. Again, you want to stay in the 4 sets of 8 to 12 rep range, which means you're getting a minimum of 32 reps per set or per block. And if you're not getting your 32 reps, you need to come back a little bit in weight. On your density block with the stiff leg deadlifts, you're going to move up 1.25 to 2.5 kilos per side each week. The seated dumbbell overhead press starts at 12 to 15% of your bench press per hand. And then obviously pick the lighter dumbbell if you're in between. That means if you're doing, you know, a 100 kilo bench press, you want to be starting at, you know, around a 15 kilo dumbbell for the seated dumbbell overhead press. Then again on the conditioning block, what you're looking for is 8 sets of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Stay on your feet for as long as possible. Move to your knees once you're exhausted or once your range of motion becomes compromised. On your density blocks here on both of these days, you're ideally aiming to get 4 rounds or above. And then finally on day 3, it's pretty straightforward. Deadlift or rack pull off of hold 2, depending on whatever one you've been off of. Again, 85% for 2 weeks of trees, 90% for 2 weeks of double, and then 95% for 2 weeks of singles. Backed up with the same percentages as above, but on these there's no plus reps. On the stiff leg deadlift, there's no plus or there's no AMRAPs. Instead, you're going to do 60% for 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. And again, if you are managing to get through your 3 sets of 10 without too much drama, move up by about 5% the following week. So these weights are only guidelines and they may or may not be too heavy. So start at 60%, get 3 sets of 10. If you get to 3 sets of 10 without too much drama, move up approximately 5%. And if you fall back, it's okay once you stay above 24 reps. The barbell row weights, like I said, are a discretionary call. So by now you've probably done these already. So you want to pick one, or hopefully you've picked one that you can do for like 4 sets of about 12 reps. Once again, you hit at least 40 reps, move up 0.5 to 1.25 kilos per side the following week. So again, you're looking for constant progression over the next 6 weeks on that. Finally, with the floor press and split squats, once you're comfortably hitting 8s all the way through, then you can go up a little bit. Again, 1.25 to 2.5 kilos per side. 65% by 6 may kill you stone dead, depending on where you're weak. If you've got weak triceps, or if that's your weak point, it'll be very difficult. So you want to have something that holds you in this 6 to 8 rep range, even if that means moving down a weight a little bit. With the split squats, get something you're comfortable with. It should be challenging, but it should also be doable. And again, aiming for 4 to 5 rounds in here if you're doing 10 minutes. And then the conditioning block thrusters, 8 seconds on, or 8 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Whatever way you slice it, it's going to be tough. But if you've been using 5 kilo dumbbells for a while now, then try and move to the 7.5s. If you've using 10s for a while, try and move to the 12.5s. Just look for a little bit of progression. Your warm-ups are going to be the bar for 10. This week you're going to 50% for 5. You're going to go then 75% for 3. And then in weeks 4 to 6, I think it is. In weeks like 3 to 6, you're going to do an 80%er as well. So 85% x1 in weeks 3 to 6 only. The density and conditioning block durations remain at the coach's discretion, depending on how fast you get through your sessions. And again, on day 3, whatever way you've been pulling your deadlift, be it off the floor or be it from the rack, you're going to stay in that one. If you're not sure, ask one of the coaches. With your warm-ups and with all of this, guys, it's obviously quite a dense amount of work. There's a lot of volume in this, so you need to hustle hard through each training session. Try not to hang around talking too much. Try not to dilly-dally. And if you're working with a partner, get straight in, get straight out. And if they're dragging the feet, make sure you drag them along faster, all right? Again, as always, any questions, just hit me up, and I'm more than happy to answer them.